probably just say why you thought it was relevant to reach out straight after mentioning whatever they have on their profile. It could be anything from something that they've liked, because you can see what people have liked on LinkedIn. That's such valuable insight into a person and what their interests are. It could be an event they're attending. It could be something about their profile picture. I've even gone as far back as commenting on, like, if someone's been to uni in a different country and asking about languages. It could be literally anything that you are a little bit curious about, genuinely.
You're listening to the Sales Today podcast, and I'm your host, Fred Copestake. On this podcast, we explore how sales professionals can develop a modern approach to winning business, the application of virtual selling techniques, how to create meaningful business relationships, and much more. Why not take our free collaborative selling scorecard to see how your sales approach suits today's environment? You'll find a link in the show notes. And welcome to the Sales Today podcast, where I'm delighted to be joined by Nadia Modler.
Hey guys.
I did pronounce that correctly, didn't I?
You did. Ukrainian last name, so
Ukraine. There we go. You're taking one of my questions away from me.
Yeah, exactly.
What else am I going to ask?
We've got a Modler Hill in Ukraine, so if you were wondering, that does exist. I'm sure that was the first question on your list.
It wasn't about the hill. Well, I was going to say where's the name from, but so you are partnerships development manager at Finder.
I am indeed.
And as part of this partnerships developing, you reached out to me. You prospected with me. I really liked what it is you did. We had a chat. I'm doing a series on prospecting. I thought, well, why not talk to Nadia, because she's done a really good job with it, which is worth sharing with others. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
No, well, I told you at the time, I think. So, what percentage of the time, how much of your role is prospecting, is reaching out to get the conversation started with people to become partners?
So as part of my role, I'm trying to grow out the member base on Finder, our partnerships platform. So as part of my role, I reach out to companies that I think would be relevant for the platform, that are looking for partnerships themselves. And then I set up a call to show them around the platform and obviously take a bit of a deeper dive. I'd say probably it's a bit of a split between being on calls and prospecting, but probably about 70% of my time is on LinkedIn and email and just on discovery.
Okay, so LinkedIn email is your favorite. So just give us a quick elevator pitch, quick 60 seconds. What is Finder? Because that's kind of interesting, and it is interesting as well. So
yeah, 100%. So essentially, Finder's a marketplace for decision makers to uncover new partnership opportunities and innovation. It's a little bit like Tinder for partnerships. We just wanted to put the human interaction back into creating partnerships and collaborations, where instead of going back and forth over email for 3 weeks, you just jump in on a phone call with the other person that has an opportunity relevant to yourselves. So yeah, it's a lot more effective than LinkedIn email calling, where you're just getting inundated with other messages from other people. Just a nice little handy tool to make your own partnerships discovery easier.
Yeah, Tinder for partnerships. That's it. That's the way to describe it. Yeah, got it.
I've somehow fallen into the Tinder for various different roles niche. I started out in sales in a different startup, which was a bit like Tinder for jobs. So I don't know what's happened here for me to be like the matchmaker guru of all different industries, but it's happened somehow.
If people aren't going to follow you already, they definitely will now, because they'll be like, oh yeah, where should we go next? What's the next Tinder business model that's going to happen?
Exactly. I need a little slogan on my profile, the love matcher.
There we go. Oh, love it. So we think about, I said prospecting. Yeah, it's finding new members. It's going out, getting a conversation started. And you've already mentioned. So you let's talk about what you do. From what I can see, it's a good way of working. So you're looking on LinkedIn more than anything else. That's your sort of starting point, yeah.
Yeah, I really like LinkedIn over calling and email. And there's always the debate whether cold calling's dead, and I don't think it is personally. I just have like LinkedIn is just easier. You can get to see everyone's personalities loads more because people are starting to use it as a bit more of a social platform. Like everyone's complaining all the time that it's becoming Facebook, but it's actually, I think it's really helpful for people in positions like us, because you get to use that to your advantage. You can reach out and say, oh, I saw you're interested in this. I saw you did this the other week, and spark up a conversation that way. I mean, social selling is coming into play more now than ever. And if you can't do anything else, just trying to make a friend and have a nice conversation that both people are going to enjoy, even if the product's not relevant, is probably what I think is the most important.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not going to be sort of, do you end up doing business? Well, you never know later down the line, and actually let's have a bit of fun doing the stuff that we're doing. Well, certainly more days of the week than we've got, to relax. So, I mean, and that's something that really struck me in the way you do stuff. You're having fun do it, and that's kind of infectious. So, can you remember what exactly was it you did when you reached out to me?
So when I reached out to you, you'd sent me an email, and it was actually the one where you had that hat on. And I did think, this is such a Bob Mortimer-esque picture. And I thought, this thought goes through my mind every single day, many times. I thought, is this person going to get offended? Or are they going to be like, yeah, this is funny, let us have a conversation. It's a bit of a different message. And I was like, I love that orange hat. And it got me to read into Brindis and having a look at what you do and about your selling in a partnership style. I thought, actually, it might be a relevant opportunity. So just going back, bouncing off what you'd put in the first instance.
Yeah, and that's the point, isn't it? I mean, it's a couple of things going on there. It's bouncing off what I put. I'm not put that by accident. I'm quite proud of my orange hat and my orange hat thinking or whatever. So when somebody recognizes that, you're already flattering me. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. You're well down the line for sort of get a meeting. But then just being a bit brave and just saying something that also made me think, oh, okay, I mean, fair enough, calling me out to be Bob Morse, whatever. That indicates to me that that's somebody who's going to be an interesting person to talk to. We'll have a giggle, worst case scenario, but if we're going to put that out, there might be some opinions, there might be something they're not going to be afraid to share or to maybe say something to me about what I'm doing that I might be missing out on, so that makes you look more valuable, I think.
Definitely. I mean, I spoke to someone the other week, and even just looking at someone's profile picture on LinkedIn, they had a little like street lamp in the background, where it looked like a Jesus cross, and he had long hair, and I was like, street light Jesus, I need to have a conversation. And he was like, 100%, I'm loving the name Street Light Jesus. Let's you've made my day. And it's just those little things that are going to make you not look like a robot and are going to put you aside from boring salespeople in the world.
Not look like a robot. I mean, if ever there's a time to not look like a robot, it is now. And if that was your approach anyway, I mean, 30th November 2022, your approach suddenly got even more valuable, I would say.
Well, we've got all the stuff with chat. What's it called? GPT?
GPT. Don't start. My missus does that. She keeps getting it wrong. She's never said the right three initials. GPT. GPT.
Yeah, I mean, that's coming into play. I'm sure salespeople are probably using that, and it's no different to their original outreach. But I highly doubt that if you asked it to create an outreach message, they wouldn't be saying "love your orange hat" or "street like Jesus." That's one thing I can guarantee.
It can't, because it is that personalized. That's involved somebody looking and using that human brain to then kind of make those connections to then weigh up that decision. How far do I push this? How much do I? Yeah, I'm going to go for it. Press button, because I'm looking at all the other stuff they're saying. I'm picking up those subtleties.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think it's really cool. How does it ever backfire? Have you ever kind of done something and somebody went, "Oh, I didn't realize that I had a street light across behind me and my long hair made me look like you." I'm quite offended by that, actually.
I actually don't think there's been too many. Generally, it's me thinking, "Oh, have I said something a bit too much here, but then they've come back and been really happy about it. But there was one time I didn't know I was speaking to someone extremely senior at Lloyd's Bank, and they said something like we don't use lead gen, and I thought he was saying that I was a lead gen tool, like it was a robotic message. And I said, like, hi, as far as I'm aware, like, I'm not a robot. And I thought that went down quite badly. He was like, yeah, we will not be taking this conversation further. I just thought, oh, well, I mean, even if I would have said something really formal and business-like, it probably at that stage, it was someone not wanting to be open to a conversation. So you've just got to take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, it might have bombed anyway. But yeah, as you say, but if you're weighing up, but actually look at all the times that it's gone well, and then it's got a conversation going, and the conversation has gone better. Because again, this is only starting a conversation, isn't it? And actually, sometimes if someone ain't going to get it, they might not match your style. You think actually the conversation would have been bad, so I've just got in the room, and then it'd been terrible instead.
Exactly, that's a good point as well, because everyone I do end up speaking to, I could probably just have as a friend, because we're already on the same like wavelength of humor or just being lighthearted. So you're not speaking to anyone like you said that is going to be super serious, and you're not really going to be on the same level with, which you're not really going to get anywhere with anyway.
So are you psychologically profiling people as well? You're kind of looking at them and going, okay, that person could be interested in partnerships, the business is right, absolutely. But that kind of person, I can see what they're saying, see what they're doing. They'll be right for conversation with me because of my style. You doing that?
There'll be people that I reach out to that I know aren't going to be on the same level of humor, and I will adapt my message to that and be a bit more like not chucking emojis into the message, even though I love a good emoji. I think everyone should be using emojis, but that's a different story. But yeah, you can change your tone of voice, and I think some people are quite blunt on message, and in person you can actually get to know them a bit better. I mean, there's people I'll see from LinkedIn and think, God, they're going to be hard work. They look really business formal. And then they've jumped on and chatted about going to a water park at the weekend with their kids. And it's just finding the other person's comfortable with opening up as well.
And are you using any tools to do that? Or are you just using your brain, reading it and going, well, that's what that person's like. That's what that person's like. That's what that person's like. It's what we do in it as humans.
Yeah, I don't use any extra tools. I used to use Vidyard. I still use Vidyard sometimes, actually. I think it's super, super useful. I used to create an individual personalized Vidyard for everyone on my second message. But it was a little bit time consuming, so I can't say that I do it as religiously. But yeah, I had a really strict formula for using Vidyard in the past, where I would just find something that the other person would find interesting about themselves on their profile. Say hello, mention what that thing is that they would be proud of on their profile, and then do a quick intro about what Finder was. And I think people just appreciate that it's personalized in the first place. And they're so much more likely to engage if you've done something that personalized.
Yeah, and I guess if you can, and you probably can't always do it, but you try and create like a little bridge between the thing that they've said about themselves, like, oh yeah, I like cats, to, oh yeah, cats. I mean, yeah, if you're curious, you'd be wanting to look at this and make it more, I don't know, feline friends, I don't know, something stuff like that.
If there was a tie worth doing, then yeah, I do think sometimes you can be too forcing over what you're trying to make relevant. But I generally just say why you thought it was relevant to reach out straight after mentioning whatever they have on the profile. Could be anything from something that they've liked, because you can see what people have liked on LinkedIn. That's such valuable insight into a person and what their interests are. It could be an event they're attending. It could be something about their profile picture. I've even gone as far back as commenting on like if someone's been to uni in a different country and asking about languages. It could be literally anything that you are a little bit curious about, genuinely.
Yeah, oh, I like that. So you're not using Vidyard as much now, is what you're saying?
Using Vidyard, I recently did a rap, which you have seen.
I have seen that. I have, yes.
It honestly took so long. So I was here, I did the beatboxing on my phone on voice memo. It's super gritty. It's the lowest production value you'll have ever witnessed. But I sent that out to certain connections that I know will like it and appreciate it, just as a bit of a different spin to explain what we do. And if nothing else, just to put a smile on people's faces, which I think it does most of the time.
And yeah, I think that is quite a smart move. I mean, yeah, you've got that one video there. Who knows? We might chat sort of further down the line. So actually, I've got another couple now, and they're there. And it's like for that person, yeah, I go with video 1. That one, I go with video 2. That one, I'll write that. You give yourself a little like kind of armory of stuff that'll be perfect for them, and it's ready to rock and roll, isn't it? Yeah.
I've been requested by many, many people to do a song and a dance one. So I'm really going to have to get my thinking cap on, get my funky flares on, some disco music, and think up the new best video everyone's ever witnessed.
If only there was a channel with loads of singing and dancing videos on to give you inspiration.
You know what?
Let's invent one.
Not seen TikTok being used that much. I've not really seen much of the business side of TikTok, but I think there's such a gap for that to be effective. Like that video I did the other day where it was I'd put lipstick on before my meeting and then the person didn't show up, so I just drew a little clown face on. That was through TikTok, but I think that'll be the next big thing. People using TikTok to make business a bit more lighthearted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some people have done that, do that. In fact, Will Aitken, who's at Lavender now and then was with Vidyard, he started doing that because he found that it was easy to use TikTok to edit videos.
Yeah.
Was putting stuff on TikTok just for fun because liked doing it, he liked making videos, and it was talking to people like himself.
Yeah.
But then he said that 1 in 10, 2 in 10. Actually, that's pretty good. And he took them onto LinkedIn, and it was having it was kind of resonating with customers, and it was making it easier for him to contact them because they were seeing his videos.
Yeah.
When he's gone and done a load of stuff. So yeah, it's a good move if you like doing that stuff and like messing about. Chuck them on there. It's a bit of personality, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think like having a bit of a personal brand on LinkedIn, whether you're using videos that you've made on TikTok or I don't know, just like insights that you think other people will find useful, is really essential now, and you can't really get away with not doing it. It's really just going from, like we said before, not being a robot. The more people are going to see your face, they're going to recognize you when you reach out, and they'll feel like you're friends already. So that's something I'm trying to do more of. I think most people should be trying to do as much of it as they can. Yeah,
Totally. Yeah, that is the psychology. The more you see someone, the more you hear somebody, which is why video is good as well. Prospecting or personal brand building, whichever way you want to look at it, it's a smart move. And yeah, getting that balance right between I'm just fed up. Yeah, that clown face one, it's brilliant. I love that. Or actually, no, I'm just recording this because I've just learned something which I think is quite important for anybody who's looking at partnerships. And you balance out with it. Hey, that was a really useful bit of stuff. That was dead funny. Getting that balance right, and you will start to achieve what you want, which is people going, hey, yeah, that person, they know what they're on about, and they're comfortable with themselves.
Yeah, I think my favorite person on LinkedIn for personal branding has to be Tom Boston. I don't know if you've come across him, but he just absolutely cracks me up. So if anyone's watching within sales today, definitely have to follow Tom Boston and me.
And you. Let's put you in the same category. Tell you what, I'll tag this in a special way. I'm gonna tag Tom Boston because he got mentioned. I'm also gonna tag Chris Bogue because I don't know if you've connected with him.
I haven't. I don't think so. I'll have to check
Chris,
them out.
Chris is excellent. Yeah, so he's got an improv background and he uses those skills to make video and gets that balance dead right of characters and being funny, but also saying some really good stuff.
Yeah, I
So
can't wait.
there we go. Legit tag them in the thing now. Sorry, guys. Well, actually, no, not sorry. I'm giving you a bit of a
Yeah,
shout out.
exactly.
But we're going to put Nadia in there with you too.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm on the top 3 creators.
What else? I mean, interesting. We kind of moved from the prospecting piece into the personal brand, and that's great because it's interesting to hear that that's very much part of your agenda and what you're very consciously doing. What other stuff are you doing then to try and build that?
I think just posting regularly it looks like it's something super separate and it's something that is just extra time in your day and no one cares about your opinion, so why bother? But it ties in so much with selling that people are going to just see you, and people will even start getting in touch with you because they've seen some of your stuff. I've had a few partnership managers connect with me this week because they've seen something I've done on LinkedIn and they've thought Finder would be a good tool for themselves. So it's just anything that can make your life a bit easier and grow yourself within whatever job role you're doing. I mean, it's going to be important no matter what industry you're in, having a bit of a personal brand and having a presence on LinkedIn. I do use a little bit of email. I just think that LinkedIn is the overwhelming power right now. If I had a Finder where I could just request discovery calls at the click of a button, I would 100% be using that.
Yeah.
But I can't use that myself to find more people to the platform.
No, but it's interesting. I mean, building that personal brand then, again, it's sort of, it's clear you like having fun doing what you're doing. And it's like, well, yeah, I could do a job, or I could take it dead seriously. I'd hate it, and everyone else would hate it, and we just spend a lot of time hating it. Whereas, why can't we have fun doing it? We can still be professional. Yeah, we can still do stuff that gets the outputs that we want. So, life's too short. We can enjoy ourselves while we're at it, and that's very attractive as well, isn't it?
I think it's just like if you're in sales, it's very probable that you're going to be in that role because you enjoy speaking to other people and you're good at communicating. And if you can make friends with anyone you speak to and just get along with someone without it being business this, business that, I mean, no one's smiling. Everyone's going to be, if you have one of them type of meetings, you might get to the end goal, but like you said, it's not going to have been as fun. You want to be doing something that you're enjoying, and people will appreciate you having a bit more fun with it. So it just feels like a win-win all round. You can try things out. Some things might not work, some things will work, but you'll be able to find out. And the more you experiment with your outreach and content that you push, the better you're going to be as a salesperson.
Boom.
I know, right?
What a summary. Yeah, totally. What a summary. I'm not going to say any more apart from to thank you. I'm going to ask you the question I always ask everyone, which is pretty dumb considering what I've been speaking about. But yeah, where can people find you? How can they get in contact?
Oh, God. Do you know what? Just send me a letter.
Send me a postcard.
Send me a postcard. But no, definitely LinkedIn. I'm always on it.
Always on it. It's work. It's work. No, and then look, I definitely. If people hear this, I'm sure they'll want to connect because we'll look forward to you putting some more fun stuff out. But no, brilliant. Look, thank you so much for taking time to jump on and have a quick chat. It's lovely to talk to you again. It is fun.
No worries. It was lovely to be here and chat to you again.
Cheers, Nadia.
No worries.
Thank you for listening to the Sales Today podcast with me, your host, Fred Copestake. I hope you've enjoyed what you heard today. If you did, please get in touch and hit subscribe. And remember, you can take the Collaborative Selling Scorecard for free to check out how your sales approach works in today's environment. You'll find it in the show notes.